Number one, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, who I am kind of depends on what day of the week. No, I'm just kidding. My name is Ms. Freeman. I am Elizabeth Freeman. I tend to go by Beth. I'm an adjunct instructor with the Department of Psychology, and I also teach for the business school, which is new this semester.
What's new about that this semester?
Well, it started in the middle of the semester, so apparently there was a change in the department or something happened with a faculty member, and they came and asked if I would pick it up. The new part of that is that it's at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I drive in from Greenville.
What first got you interested in the Step Up program?
Oh, I've been watching your signs show up around campus. The QEP, Step Up, Bring Your Own Device, BYOD. And I have a long time career having engaged with information technologies. In fact, when I started my professional career, I was in the computer programming department of a corporation, First Union Corporation, which you now know as Wells Fargo. Okay. So I'm always interested in computers, and now I see how the computers have gone from being huge to being microscopic, and I watch students engage with them from the phones to your tablets to the laptops in class. I'm curious. I wanted to know more. I'm supposed to be a teacher, and teachers are supposed to model what we want our students to do, and I will openly admit that you know more about a lot of it now than I do. So,
Have you been changing your teaching as a result of joining Step Up?
one of the biggest differences is that I have told students they're welcome to bring their devices, and that I ask them to use the devices to enhance their learning and classroom experience and to try to stay on task but through the use of the device, and then to find out what works with which devices. So like the statistics class today that you came in right after. You can't use your phones, not because I won't let them use the phones. The phones are just not designed for statistical analysis functions. The screens are not large enough for it to work well. Tablets, great. Personal computers, even better, because we need a big screen and we need access to the keyboards, so now we know that that works. And when everybody remembers to bring it, I can focus on the explanation and the analysis and go theory heavy and let them do the mechanical functions. But when they forget their devices, which is honestly very often, then we do a blended learning. We use graph paper to represent the software, and they will create the data and start working through the analyses while they watch it happen on the screen. So we blend low-tech, high-tech, and make it work for what works.
What have you found most rewarding about your teaching has changed? About how your teaching has changed?
What have I found most rewarding about how my teaching has changed? Oh, I'm more willing to try new things, and I don't find it as overwhelming when the technologies don't work. It is sometimes very frustrating for both students and the faculty and the support personnel who keep all of it running. For example, we have found that even with the perfect wireless environment and speeds, that our classroom can only move as fast as the slowest piece of equipment in the room. So if someone comes in with a 3-year-old device and somebody else has a 3-day-old device, the 3-day-old device will go at rapid speed, but the 3-year-old one won't. The whole class has to go at that speed. So.
What have you found most challenging about how your teaching has changed?
What have I found most challenging? Getting students to be comfortable with carrying their devices around and realizing that phones can't do it all. So many of them only want to use their phone. because it's lightweight and it's easy.
How have your students reacted to a more technology-intensive course?
Some of them think it's really cool, and others are a little bit sad because they feel like they've paid to go to a university to have engagement with faculty, and that the technology sometimes puts very real distance between their ability to interact with faculty and to learn the way they thought they would learn.
What are the most significant effects you've seen resulting from teaching and learning with digital information and communication technologies?
What are some of the most significant effects? I don't think I've been doing it well long enough to be able to answer you honestly. If you've talked to me at the end of the semester, I might be able to tell you if my grades in general have gone up or gone down. What I found was that testing for us, using technologies to support them, it's actually taking longer because we as faculty are having to re-estimate how long it will take for students to complete the tests. I know I can estimate it within 5 minutes how long it will take to do a complete paper test. But if I mix it and I post a data set and I give a written portion of the test, I'm really trial and error at this point, figuring out how long it takes. But the beauty of that is that the students are getting a lot more consideration and a lot more patience. Once we get some of our own experience levels built up, then we'll be able to tighten that up a little bit.
Now, is that due also because the students are getting used to that aspect of testing as well in the classroom?
It's that and the skill sets and getting everything to communicate well. Well, for example, in the classroom here, we can run phones, we can run tablets, and we can run laptops. But everybody already has to have VMware installed on it, and they have to know how to log into it, and they've got to understand the differences between operating with Apple equipment and VMware and our Microsoft VMware interactions. We all had to learn that together. No one came in with the expert title, so we've been a reverse mentorship. I help them, they help me. We talk to the IT department, they help us, and
is that something that you think will help in the real world scenarios? This like convergence of technology in the classroom?
yes. In fact, I think that is the new norm, and to try to avoid the use of technologies is not going to work for anyone. So we'd better get comfortable with it, and we'd better learn to be better than our competitors in the workforces are.
How do you keep up with advancements in technology?
It's a mixture. I learn from my adult children. I listen to what they talk about, and I watch what they do, and then I talk to my students, and I am an avid reader of what kind of information comes through by email and what my publishers, and by my publishers I mean the publishers of textbooks, are providing, and then I try to learn those tools.
Okay. Since the Bring Your Own Device initiative started, have you noticed a difference in the number of devices used by students in your classroom?
Yes. I see more tablets. I see more phones. I see fewer laptops.
Do you use a device while teaching, and has that affected your teaching?
I use the equipment provided here. I tend to create things with the devices that I've been provided through the QEP and the FDI, the Faculty Development Institute. I use those to create my support materials or to modify what's provided by the publisher, and then I tend to run things through Blackboard or what we call our shared H drive, and I do use VMware, but no, I don't haul things around. I try very hard not to.
In your opinion, how useful is the Bring Your Own Device initiative for students?
I think we've had mixed results. I don't think enough students understand what it means, and those who have, like I said, assumed their phones would be enough. And while the phones are good sometimes, the phones just don't do it all. But not because they can't. Technologically, they do. But imagine trying to write a paper or to answer an essay question while you are using a phone. For a tweet, it's perfect. But not all things are tweetable. So you have to make rational judgments about which device and which technology you want to use for which assignment. Okay, so if
what do you see as the biggest advantage of the Bring Your Own Device initiative?
The fact that students are changing the way they learn and faculty are changing the way we teach, and that we are preparing you to be better competitors upon graduation. And to me, having good careers is all about the competition. There's positive competition, and then there's, oh my God, kind of competition. You know, we want to keep jobs here, we want to build new jobs. That's the pressure, the oh my God kind of competition. And then there's the, I'm a new graduate, I have fresh skills. That's positive competition.
What is the largest disadvantage you've seen?
Keeping all the devices up and running at the same time.
Looking ahead 5 years, how do you see Step Up in the Bring Your Own Device initiative affecting the way we experience teaching and learning?
I expect that in the next 5 years, when you pay your tuition, at least initially when you come into the USC Upstate campus, you're going to get a device, that will be included in your tuition so that everybody will have standard devices, so that it will simplify what our technical support group has to do, and it will belong to the students, so that students have the responsibility for maintaining it, and the institution, the university, doesn't have to continue to buy more and more and more, but you get that one and then you keep it running, and that it's true across all disciplines.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us that we haven't asked you about, considering the Bring Your Own Device or Step Up program here on campus?
I think it is an incredibly important program. I am very excited about the use of tablets, and the thing that I think is the most fun are the tablets that have the separate keyboards that you can attach, but it's all one device and it's about the same size as a sheet of paper, and it weighs less than a textbook, and you can do all of your courses on it. That's what I hope to see us moving more toward. And we will still need to have PCs on campus because of the investment we already have in the equipment, and there's still some things that tablets can't do. But you'll see each classroom turn into a lab. So yes, it will redefine the concept of labs.
Do you feel like the presence of tablets and cell phones in the classroom as a distraction in some cases?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes is it just particular students, or do you think there would be a way for the university to control what content they can view in the classroom?
I think the technology exists today to control what content you can access. Do I think we will find ourselves funded well enough to implement it? No. I think that the overwhelming attitude will be that you're all adults, and that adults will be expected to make their own ethical decisions about how to use it. And we do not want to put faculty or administrators in the position of having to be classroom police. I think that's counterproductive to learning, especially the formulation of new ideas.
Have you implemented e-books instead of textbooks in any of your classes?
I did try it a couple of semesters, and my students told me that they actually preferred the book. And I thought, okay, how about the supplemental materials? What did you think of those? They liked having access to lecture notes. They liked having access to PowerPoints or to slideshow projections. They liked having access to video links. But when it came to reading and thinking, they still wanted to touch. I think what will happen there is that as the younger students are coming up and through, we'll see ourselves move more and more toward those. But we still like paper. Well, I would like to add that all the faculty that are getting involved in it are thoroughly enjoying learning new materials or learning how to present old materials in new ways. And it's reassuring for us that not everybody knows everything, so that we don't feel as much pressure about having to be the expert, but that we get to learn and incorporate it. So I'm really glad that they've instituted it. And I travel between different cities by day. And so far, I have found that I haven't converted all of my materials, that I'm seeing that transition. So now I carry all the technology and I carry all the paper. Eventually, 5 years from now, I'll probably be like George. We can set George up as our goal to achieve, because he's already there. He's where we want to be.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.